Welcome back, my rogues. Today's question is, do you have a famous ancestor? If so, what were they known for? Hope you enjoy, and check me out on Instagram. I have an uncle who is the reason DUI breathalyzer ignitions have a timer because he would drive through the bar and let it idle while he drank lol. Grandfather was the first person to be sentenced to death after Texas reinstated the death penalty in the 70s. James Naismith, creator of basketball, was my great-great-uncle or half. My grandfather was Alfred Einstein. He was Albert's cousin. My great-great-grandfather, not sure about how many greats, was one of the 112 men to write and sign my country's constitution some 200 years ago. My uncle is a famous singer from Ireland. HES not big in the US but massive everywhere else. HES part of a band called Westlife. His name is Shane Fillon. H is still alive, but yeah, there you go. Hitler's my ancestor through marriage, not blood. He was known for getting kicked out of art school, I believe. Editor, Shinies, and Karma, too. Thanks for the love or the hate. But we don't talk about those people here. I have two, John Adams and John Quincy Adams. Edit, my lineage apparently got around. My great-great, not sure how many greats, grandfather was the checkers champion of England. Related to Bridget Bishop, first woman hung in the Salem witch trials. My uncle is a Power Ranger. You may know him as the Green Ranger or Jason David Frank. H is known as a Power Ranger and is working on another Kickstarter movie, and Evine has his own karate class. One of great-great-grandfathers invented the Gatling gun. Houdini, the magician, was my great-grandmother's cousin. Not sure that is considered an ancestor. Johann Sebastian Bach, one of his daughters married into my family, which makes him my great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather. Jim Bowie, died at the Alamo. William Randolph Hearst, famous for being Citizen Kane. Advertising, we don't really give a fuck if it works, we already got your money. Genghis Khan, famous for global bloodbaths. Joseph Smith, creator of the Mormon Church, him actually through the line of his brother Hiram. But what are you gonna do? Napoleon Bonaparte, some random French guy that took over Spain. Johann Jakob Astor. John Jacob Astor was a German-American businessman, merchant, real estate mogul and investor who mainly made his fortune in a fur trade monopoly and by investing in real estate in or around New York City. Known for first multi-millionaire businessman in the United States, still living in his hometown, and he is still sort of getting glorified here in Porto. My great-whatever grandmother was Davy Crockett's sister. Jesse James, known for being an outlaw. Edit, hello to all of you fellow Jesse James relations. Who knew Raider could serve as a distant potential relative family reunion? William of Normandy, conqueror of England. Edit, sons and daughters of Normandy, we must rally together and wage conflict with our rivals, the descendants of God Winston. Like good-natured conflict though. H is not extremely famous now, but my great-great-grandfather was Joe Fox. Joe Fox was a famous English boxer in the 1920s. He won a Lonsdale belt by the time he was 23, when that achievement was very competitive, and I think he ended up winning 3 total. I remember my grandma showing it to me in a glass display box before we sent it to a museum. King Christian IX of Denmark. To flex or not to flex? I guess, with all the incest going on in that family tree. Generally, if you are in any European royal bloodline, chances are, you share blood with all the royal houses. I tried claiming and lost Princess Anastasia, but I think that joke's a bit old now. Defense contract manufacturing. When I worked in that field, it was like a time capsule to 70s. Stereotypes: beer for lunch, whiskey in the desk drawer, everyone fucking everyone, and the best seats at the biggest games for decision makers. Both Robert E. Lee and William T. Sherman, one led the Confederate forces and the other burned down Atlanta and everything in his path on the way there. My great-great-great-uncle is L. Frank Baum, writer of a little-known book called The Wizard of Oz. Edit, wow. Thanks for the likes. Lots of Oz fans round these parts. Huh, second edit, upvotes, not likes. Sorry about that. My mom's cousin's best friend is friend with Paul Rudd's sister, so I pretty much know Ant-Man. King Edward IX200B. Although to be fair, I have heard it is common to be related to royalty, especially in England. X200B. Also, it's obvious what they were famous for. Belle Starr, first woman hung in the state of Texas. I'm related to both Lincoln and his wife by blood, and they lived in the White House. H.H. Holmes, aka Herman Mudgett, notorious serial killer, first known in the Western world, had a murder hotel built, hired and fired different contractors to conceal what was really being built. Edit. Details. My family used to be something WAAAY back in the day, since there's a castle in Wales and a basilica in Montreal bearing our name, assuming they don't just hand those out to everyone. Somewhere along the way some arsehole squandered everything before I could, because I definitely wasn't born into a wealthy family. 2. Actually, Daniel Boone, pioneer and explorer of the 1700s, and Rebecca Nurse, one of the women hung as a witch in Salem. Also, HES not especially famous, but my grandfather is a World War II vet who served both at Normandy and Midway. My great-great-uncle murdered an FBI agent and subsequently spent time in Alcatraz. He was there at the same time as Machine Gun Kelly and Al Capone, for those curious. His name is Guy Osborne and he murdered Truett Rowe. I found this when I was tracing my genealogy. Last year, I went down a long rabbit hole, but it was so interesting. He is also mentioned in a book by, if I remember correctly, Franklin Roosevelt.
Hope you liked this video. Stay frosty, my rebels.